Hey family, so thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm Keish with Make the Connection. Okay, so the story that we're going to be talking about today is going to be about Moses. A lot of us know the story. What I did not know is the prevalence of women or sisters in this case in the story of Moses. I've read this story so many times, but I never slowed down enough to really pay attention. So let's get into it. We're coming out of Exodus 2 verses 1 through 10. Now I'm reading it in the easy reading version. So Exodus 2 verses 1 through 10. Let's get it. Verse 1. There was a man from the family of Levi who decided to marry a woman from the tribe of Levi. Verse 2. She became pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy. The mother saw how beautiful the baby was and hid him for 3 months. Verse 3. She hid him for as long as she could. After 3 months, she made a basket and covered it with tar so that it would float. Then she put the baby in the basket and put the basket in the river in tall grass. Verse 4. The baby's sister stayed and watched to see what would happen to the baby. Just then, Pharaoh's daughter went to the river to bathe. She saw the basket in the tall grass. Her servants were walking beside the river. So she told one of them to go get the basket. Verse 6. The king's daughter opened the basket and saw a baby boy. The baby was crying and she felt sorry for him. Then she noticed that it was one of the Hebrew babies. Verse 7. The baby's sister was still hiding. She stood and asked the king's daughter, "Do you want me to go find a Hebrew woman who can nurse the baby and help you care for it?" Verse 8. The king's daughter said, "Yes, please." So the girl went and brought the baby's own mother. Verse 9. The king's daughter said to the mother, "Take this baby and feed him for me. I'll pay you to take care of him." So the woman took her baby and cared for him. Verse 10. The baby grew, and after some time, the woman gave the baby to the king's daughter, and the king's daughter accepted the baby as her own son. She named him Moses because she had pulled him from the water. Now we know that that story is, in fact, very important to where we're standing right now, because we wouldn't be where we are right now had Moses not being where he was. So I wanted to go back and touch just a little bit, and I called this study The Heart of Her. Okay, so we're going to highlight 4 sisters here. So a little backstory is that what Pharaoh was doing at the time is he was having the midwives to kill any Hebrew babies that were boys. He was telling the midwives, if that baby is born and it's found to be a boy, that you kill that baby. But if it was found to be a little girl, you would keep it. Well, the problem with this is that the midwives, when Moses was born, the midwives said, "I can't do it." She couldn't do it. So she was the first person that we realized that against protocol of Pharaoh, she did not kill Moses when she should have. And then you had Jochebed, which was Moses' mom. Moses' mom knew that she wasn't supposed to keep this baby because it was a little boy. But Jochebed kept the baby and hid him for 3 whole months. She nursed this baby for 3 whole months. And when it became very prevalent that she could not hide the baby any longer, she now does what she can do. She builds this basket, put tar around it, and then she decides she's going to put it in the water. So Jochebed is another woman who's now saving this baby's life. And so you have the midwife and you have Jochebed who comes in and says, "Listen, I'd rather for him to take his chances on the water than to be killed up on spot when somebody realizes that he's a little boy. Okay, now we go to the third sister, and that's Moses' sister Miriam. Miriam follows this basket, but she's smart enough to know to follow it a ways off and just make sure it says she wanted to know and make sure that her brother would be safe. That within itself, how many of us sisters have done that or do that? How many mothers? It's just it's something about the heart of her that does that. And so that was the third sister that we talked about. And so the baby makes it to Pharaoh's daughter. And the thing that was so amazing about this story when we went through it was simply this. Pharaoh's daughter realizes that this baby is a Hebrew. She said the baby is crying when she comes and sees him, and she felt sorry for him. But she looked in the basket and she knew that he was of Hebrew descent. And she still was willing to do what he needed to be done. So in this story, it was just so amazing to see all of these people working together. So you had the midwife who would not kill the baby. And you also had the mother of Moses, Jochebed, who would not kill the baby. She did what she could until his life was at danger, and she did what was next. And then you had his sister Miriam, who literally followed him and just made sure that he was in safe hands and nothing happened to him. And I didn't even talk about Miriam's part, where knowing that she's following this basket, she could have kept quiet, like, shh, girl, don't talk. Just see where he go. But when she realized him crying, and she knew that there's something that her mom could give him that he did not have, and that the king's daughter couldn't give him, she says, hi, do you need me to go get somebody who can help him? And that was so amazing, because the king's daughter could have said, hey, you come here, what are you doing? But it all worked out. Even Pharaoh's daughter being in a position where I know I should not keep this baby boy who is a Hebrew, because my father has strictly said all the Hebrew babies were supposed to die if they were in fact boys. And so she gives this baby back to its mother and then pays the mother to actually take care of that baby. That is amazing. We know the story of Moses. We know how Moses grew. We know how Moses ended up coming back and standing up for his people. We know how he allowed this whole exodus out of the city and into the wilderness, and he's following God and listening to God. We know this whole children of Israel trip in the wilderness, right, is Moses. So just imagine, had the midwife not did her part, had Jochebed not did her part, had Miriam been too afraid to do her part, had the king's daughter been too afraid. In this situation, what I noticed, I was talking to a sister, and she said they were all on a divine team and didn't even know that they were on the team together. They had no idea that they were even on the team together. It's amazing how God works things out and put things together where you have no idea that you're there to actually make a difference in somebody's life. The midwife didn't know that was Moses. Jochebed didn't know what Moses would do. Miriam did not know that her brother would be this amazing man of God, and neither did the king's daughter. They all were listening to God. We have seen Moses. We've said the story over and over again, but y'all, we've never stopped to see the position of these four women. and how women play a serious role in our everyday life. They play a serious role in what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. When God says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, He means that. He means that to the men and the women, to the sisters and the brothers. We all have something to do. And I think if we can understand that Moses just didn't pop up and he's who he is, there were people that were divinely put in his presence to help move him along the way. And I have no doubt that there are other women that I promise you came in to make sure and ensure him and instruct him to make sure that he had what he needed. So today, I want to say thank you to all the sisters who are day by day, whether you're praying, whether you're giving, whether you're being a voice, a shoulder to cry on, wherever you at, girl, I know the heart of her is real. The heart of her is real. So take this time today and whether you text, whether you call, just say thank you to one of those that you know made the difference in your life, help you to become who you are today. If it had not been for that person, where would you be today? Everybody has something to do. Everybody is important in God's kingdom. Everybody is, from the front to the back, from the highest position to what we would consider the lowest position, even though God knows that all positions are important to Him. All right, family. Thank you again for listening to my devotion. And I hope you have a blessed day. I know I will. Okay? Enjoy. All right, family. Bye-bye.